Good morning. You are listening to the Coach's Corner on KYNT. Let's go to the voice of the Yankton Bucks and Gazelles, Bryce Ladwig.
Hey, welcome to the Coach's Corner, live from 1019 Broadway Avenue, the KYNT Studios. It is cold outside. Winter strikes again. More postponements of Yankton High School athletics. Wrestling called off. Yankton basketball called off. I'm telling you, winter will be the state champion by the end of all seasons. Just crown it now. Drop the banner. Winter so far this season is undefeated. And I don't like it at all. But still going to be able to catch up with Yankton High School varsity coaches here today on the Coach's Corner on the Pizza Ranch phone line. We'll get started with head coach Trey Creer of the Yankton Gazelles when we come back after our first break. This is the Coach's Corner, brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. We'll be back here on KYNT.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
When I'm searching for adventure, I find it on the range. Archery challenges me to be curious, see opportunity, and welcome big challenges. It teaches me to focus and never quit until the last arrow hits. Archery allows me to show my spirit at Mount Marty University. How do you show your adventurous side? Schedule your campus visit to Mount Marty University at showyourspiritmmu.com.
It's time for a new kind of credit card. One that's with you where you are, wherever life leads. The Evergreen Credit Card by F&BO earns you unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase, every day, every step of the way. For important information and limitations regarding the rewards program, visit fnbo.com/evergreen for complete details. From the great big small bank, ever ready for you to earn more so you can do more. Only with Evergreen by F&BO. Learn more today at fnbo.com/evergreen.
Do you go through every day dealing with pain? Does chronic or acute pain affect the decisions you make and the quality of your life? It doesn't have to. It's time to visit the experts. Whether you're suffering from neck and back pain, work-related injuries, headaches, fibromyalgia, joint pain, or any other type of debilitating discomfort, Avera Medical Group Pain Management Clinic Yankton can offer you relief. They listen, they care, and they can help. That's Avera Medical Group Pain Management Clinic Yankton at 605-655-1220. Live better. Live balanced. Avera.
Are you looking to get your career moving? Then Truxedo Bed Covers is looking for you. Truxedo of Yankton has immediate openings for first, second, and third shifts and offers weekly pay, full benefits package with paid time off, paid holidays, a team-oriented atmosphere, climate-controlled work environment, and pay starting at $19.75 an hour. If you're ready to join the Truxedo team, visit truxedo.com/careers and apply today. Truxedo is a real truck company and equal opportunity employer. Rodents want to make your home their home. Pesky invaders go in search of warm housing and food for the winter. An invasion of rodents can be costly and can contribute to disease and contamination of products. So trust the experts to keep them out. Olson Pest Technicians is family-owned with over 80 years of experience. Even the toughest infestations don't stand a chance. Olson Pest Technicians, putting pests to rest since 1966. Call 800-KIL-BUGS.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton Gazelles basketball with head coach Trey Creer. Coach, good morning. And the winter storms hit again. No Douglas game. And this entire season for your calendars has X's through it, right? With reschedules and postponements and things of that nature, right?
Yeah, it's been something that we've had to adjust to. And the good news is we have a little bit more time now to continue to work with stuff in practice for our kids. And that's where we've seen the most improvement. So we need to make sure we take advantage of it now, because those games are going to come very quickly at us here as we start to enter February.
And Coach, let's go ahead and talk about your last matchup. That was at Brandon Valley. Really tough matchup up there. Gazelles fell 43-25, and Claire Tereshinsky 9 points, Macy Drotzman 6 points, 11 boards, is really showing what she could do in the paint.
Yeah, we struggled to score the ball against Brandon Valley there. To their credit, they're a really good defensive team. They fly around the floor, took things away from us, did a good job of getting their hands on passes, and didn't allow us to really get into a flow. And it was noticeable that our shots just weren't as crisp and falling as they had been against Roosevelt and Jefferson. So, that's difficult. When you're having trouble putting points on the board, it's hard to really find a way to compete. But to our kids' credit, defensively, we did a lot of good things and held them to 43 points, which, you put us on pace to shoot the way we had been shooting it, and we're in a ball game there. So against a very quality Brandon Valley team. So defensively, we've shown some consistency, and we need to continue to build on that. And we need to find some ways to get out of those offensive ruts on the nights where we're struggling to shoot the ball.
And Coach, you talked at Yankton Quarterback Club on Wednesday, and you mentioned that you had a couple of practices there during the week, that some of your best of the season. Is that really a trend that's moving upward with the quality of practices you're getting? Yeah,
one of the hard things about having a season like the one that we are is keeping kids upbeat and keeping them having fun and enjoying coming to the gym and putting in the work that it takes to get better. And to our kids' credit, again, they have showed up with smiles on their faces. They enjoy being around each other. They're very receptive to being coached, and we have a lot of things that we need to work on and a lot of things that we need to learn about the game of basketball and about ourselves. And our kids are continuing to have fun in that process. So every little win that we have right now on the floor during games is a result of that attitude that our kids have.
And then, Coach, kind of a general overview question about sub-varsity rather than the specific games, but I know that you watch a lot of that action, or you try to the best of your ability. What are you seeing from those girls? Do you like the development that you're seeing from the sub-varsity players? Yeah,
our sophomore group, which is mainly our JV team right now with a couple of 8th graders, our sophomore group had a rough year last year as freshmen. They lost a lot of games by some wide margins. And so we just talked to them about it at Brandon Valley, about how we're seeing them be more competitive in games. And that hasn't led to a lot of wins in the win column. But again, the process, which is really hard to get kids, high school kids, to buy into, the process is working for us right now. And we got to think big picture here with our sophomore group and with our junior group and even our freshmen and our 8th graders, where we got a lot of time to continue to get ourselves back into practice and continue to build and take these baby steps. And our sub-varsity kids, we've seen that. Our 8th graders have been a really good addition to allow some of our sub-varsity kids to get off the ball, our sophomores and our freshmen to get off the ball and find roles where they have a little bit better chance of being successful in.
And Coach, I guess now the next matchup would be, at least on the schedule, would be Aberdeen Central on Tuesday at home at the Summit Center. And I love to ask you about your next opponent, but rather than Douglas, what can you tell me about Aberdeen? Don't glare at me. I can feel it.
Aberdeen just had a great win against Brandon Valley, right before we played them. Scored 67 points against them. That's a big difference between what we saw at Aberdeen early in the year in terms of the number of points that they scored. So we're going to have our hands full defensively. They're a physical team. They love to get the ball inside and utilize the paint. Defensively, they play a little mixture of man and zone, and they're very physical. They use their size and their physicality defensively to really take things away and make it difficult to get the ball in the paint. And like you mentioned, Macy's been a big part of what we do offensively, and we're going to have to find some different ways to get her the ball as well. But we're looking forward for the opportunity to get on the court. And like I said, as soon as we start playing games here, our practice opportunities are going to be few and far between as we start to stack games on top of each other.
Well, Coach, sorry about the weather. It's just I wish that everyone could have a smooth schedule this season, but I always do appreciate you joining us here on the Coach's Corner.
You bet. Thanks, Bryce.
Let's Coach Straker, Yankton Gazelles basketball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on KYNT.
Think about how people really see you. The kid at the drive-thru just sees a coffee drinker.
Please pull forward.
Your local barista sees the person who loves a smiley face in their latte.
See you next time.
It's kind of the same way with insurance. Other insurance companies just see a customer, but a State Farm agent sees more. They see you as a neighbor. Your State Farm agent is here to get to know who you really are so they can help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Rhonda Westland at 665-4411 today to learn more.
As a proud community bank, Core Trust delivers more than just checking and savings accounts. We invest in the cities and towns where we live and work by volunteering to coach youth sports teams, supporting local charities and the arts with our time and resources. Whether we live in a rural town in South Dakota or a suburban city in Minnesota, it's a place we call home. Core Trust Bank. Raise your expectations.
Member FDIC.
Do you have dry, sore, or irritated eyes? If so, you may have dry eye. At Vision Care Associates, we offer a simple, fast, and non-surgical procedure to treat black glands in your eyelids that can help your eyes to feel comfortable again. Schedule an appointment with Dr. Fieser to find out about dry eye treatment with our newest technology.
Vision Care Associates, where the health of your eyes comes first.
All right, welcome back to the Coaches Corner. So I will have the other two coaches on the phone here this morning. However, I did catch up with Coach Chris Haynes yesterday because I was doing some game preparation for the basketball game, which was supposed to happen today. And we recorded that conversation before it was announced that the doubleheader was postponed. So I'll play the portion where he talks about their last matchup with Brandon Valley and kind of the season as a whole. So it might jump around once or twice, might be a little wonky, but so is this whole winter weather that we are having. So welcome to the show. All right, here's that conversation I had with Chris Haynes, head coach of the Yankton Bucks basketball team. And welcome back to the Coaches Corner. Let's talk Yankton Bucks basketball. Head coach Chris Haynes joining us on the Pizza Ranch phone line. Coach, a tough loss on Thursday night, Brandon Valley 58-54. Is that the kind of game you always expect with ESD opponents, especially the ones up in Sioux Falls, right?
Yeah, anytime you're in an ESD game, you're expecting a physical, hard-fought game, and that was no question. That's how it was Thursday night. Didn't play very well in the first half, and I think Brandon Valley had a lot to do with that. Just their physicality and their length, and they did some things that bothered us and took some things away from us that we are normally able to do. But give our guys credit for battling back in the second half and showing some resiliency. And we cut it to 1 with a minute to go, and just couldn't quite make enough plays to get over the hump.
And basically everything I'm going to talk to you about this morning on the Coach's Corner, we kind of talked to the post game quickly, but for those that may not have heard, but Mac Reichen made his return to the lineup, battling some soreness, but he seemed to be, maybe a little winded, but kind of seemed to find his footing, right?
Yeah, I just felt like he was a little unsure of himself in that first half, and how it is anytime you're coming back from an injury, it's more, it can be the mental aspect of it too. So the physical aspect of it is one thing, but also the mental aspect. And I thought he was way better in the second half just because I think he, being out there for a half, got more comfortable with himself and like, okay, I can do this. I'm going to trust it. And once he made a couple plays, then he was fine.
Cody Oswald had another tough assignment in the paint, guarding Altoff primarily, and just kind of really trying to anchor down there in the low blocks. But another tough assignment, but he did an excellent job defensively.
I thought Cody had a great game, all the way around. We couldn't take him off the floor. He was playing so well. And not only defending Altoff and battling in there and just competing his tail off, but on the boards, and did some really good things for us offensively too. So just all the way around, thought Cody had a great game.
Couldn't take him off the floor, but probably kind of helped in that situation. Rugby, unfortunately, got in some foul trouble very early.
Yeah, picked up a couple quick ones, and normally probably take a kid out with 2 quick fouls, but he's a senior, and we trust that he can play with fouls. And the other thing is that if you're in foul trouble, I get that we want rugby at the end of the game, but rugby can pick up 2 fouls in the first minute and end the game with 2 fouls, and then now and play the whole time. And now we've sat him on the bench for 16 minutes when we didn't need to. So there is a little bit of gray area there where I just felt like, yeah, he has 2, but we got to keep playing him. He played still a lot of minutes in the first half. and played with foul trouble the whole time. I know he did end up fouling out, but I think rugby can play with those fouls more times than not.
You spoke at Yankton Quarterback Club this past Wednesday, and you had mentioned your depth players, Isaiah Skelhaus, Cooper Grotenhuis, players like that, and mentioned Skelhaus and the fact that you were looking for him just to have a game where maybe he hits a couple of big shots for his confidence. I think that was on Thursday night.
Yeah, Isaiah came in and did some really nice things for us, and I just think the more comfortable he gets on the varsity floor, the better he's going to start doing, and hopefully, the Brandon Valley game is one where we look back on and say, hey, that was a turning point for Isaiah, and because he's capable of that, he's been doing that. He did it last year in the JV game. He's been doing it consistently in practice. So again, like I said, hopefully we can point back to that Brandon Valley game and be like, man, as soon as Isaiah started playing, that's when he started really playing well and really started to add another dynamic to our team.
Well, the schedule keeps getting, I would say easier or tougher, but it's just tough all the way through, Coach. I'm looking at it right in front of my eyes right now. It's a tough schedule, but let's.
It is, You're exactly right, Bryce. We told the guys out in the locker room after the game. It's like, we had a tough start to the schedule, and then it's like, man, we just went through this gauntlet of the Sioux Falls metro schools. You get through that, but then you're looking forward. It's like, well, it doesn't get any easier, and so that's just the life of how it is in AA boys basketball.
Let's Coach Chris Haynes, Yankton Bucks basketball. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on KYNT. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks for having me, Bryce.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Don't gamble. Insure with MT&RC Smith Insurance in Yankton, your independent agent for home, business, auto, life, and bonds. MTRCSmithInsurance.com.
Support a local business that supports schools and events and provides fuel discounts for Yankton's largest employers, Triple Time Rudy's. At Triple Time Rudy's, you get that local friendly feel and also a unique offering of products. You'll find quality South Dakota products like Dimmick cheese and premium meats from the Kaler and Renner lockers, plus quality fuel products too. Conveniently located at 17th and Broadway for your daily fill-ups and convenience needs. Pull in to Triple Time Rudy's today.
Buying or selling your home is one of the biggest decisions you may make in your lifetime. I'm Deb Speck with Vision Real Estate, and I'm ready to help guide you with professional advice from before the listing until after the close. Not only will you get real estate knowledge, but also we provide moving boxes and an enclosed courtesy trailer to help make the move just a little easier. Call me today at 664-5555.
This fall, take some time to think about your future. While the leaves make their way down to earth and the last sunset of summer leaves us with an autumn chill, it's time to grab the nearest foam finger and break out the face paint. Rush the stands with First Dakota National Bank and forget how to blink. Fall sports are back with jaw-dropping plays, an electric atmosphere, and epic scores. Make some noise with First Dakota National Bank. Open a new account online today at firstdakotanationalbank.com. Member FDIC.
It's that time of year again, and Yankton Rexall recommends you protect yourself from the flu bug by getting a flu shot from our pharmacy. Hi, this is Michael. Stop in anytime Monday through Friday and receive your seasonal flu shot. No prescription or appointment necessary. We'll even bill Medicare or insurance for those eligible. Stop in and let us protect you from the flu bug this season. Yankton Rexall, your hometown pharmacy since 1923, located in the Meridian District.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton wrestling with head coach Riley Smith. Coach, first it was Blizzard Bob. Now I'm going to go ahead and name this next snowfall, not Blizzard, but Snowfall Andrew. That is what's happening. And it's caused another, as of right now, postponement or possibly reschedule or whatever with Brookings, Yankton not making the trip up north, huh?
Yeah, and unfortunately, with them being up north, it just, I don't know. It's just another thing being on the south side this year, I guess, just missing out again. So
Yeah, when will it end? Hopefully by spring. But we've also seen South Dakota, we've gotten snow in April. So
yes,
it's like May. So hopefully it will eventually wear down here. But we do have some past meets to talk about, Coach. When we last talked before last Saturday, and actually even before Friday, I think we recorded on Thursday going into last Saturday, the Gazelles went to Pierre for a competition. Monica Massey, Jessica Kite each picked up 2 pinfall victories. Nevaeh Leonard earned a 3rd place finish in her class, winning 4 of 5 matchups. Why don't you go ahead and just kind of expand on their competition, is the overall Gazelles?
Yeah, overall, I would say it was a good tournament for the Gazelles. Starting off with Nevaeh, it's one of those, the one thing that's been nice is we are now seeing a lot more developed girls tournaments like Pierre and Harrisburg. And with those, it really gives our girls a chance to experience matches with girls that, we don't see on a regular basis. And, you don't want to all of a sudden get to state and never had a chance to either wrestle a girl or at least maybe be at a tournament to see how she does wrestle. And so Nevaeh, unfortunately she took her first loss of the season, but the thing about Nevaeh is she's got a really quick bounce back. Obviously not thrilled that she lost, but understood that, that's how she's going to learn before that state tournament time, and then comes back, gets the 3rd place finish. That's the thing that some people, don't always understand is, to take a loss like that and then come back and get 3rd, that's tough, because you see a lot of times where, whether it's a team or an individual that takes like we call it the semifinal slide, where, it's tough to come back from that loss. And she did really good, and again, in the practice room, we got some things to work on and she knows that. So Monica and Jacqueline, had really good tournaments, got to see girls again, just like Nevaeh, that we haven't seen before, giving them some things to work on in the practice room as well. They're both, making improvements that, each tournament, trying to get on that podium. Monica was coming back from an elbow injury and she came back, doing really well with some things. So Jacqueline, still kind of young, 8th grader, learning a few things on that high school side. But again, when we talk and we go over different things, she's trying to make those adjustments as well. And you're seeing it when she's wrestling.
And then the Bucks also active over this past weekend. They are one of 12 teams involved in the River City Rumble in Chamberlain on Saturday. The Bucks took home an 8th place finish, and they earned 76 points in the meet. Chase Platt, Dylan Sloan, both podium finishes. Platt, I believe, 2nd, and Sloan 1st, right?
It was a good tournament, again, kind of like with some of the ones, we have some tournaments, and especially like in December for the boys, we see a lot of the same teams, or I should say we see them more often. So the thing that's been nice in January is that we do have the opportunity to go to different places and we get to see some different wrestlers, just like on the girls' side as well. And Chamberlain was no different. And I would say to start the tournament off, our wrestlers started off really well. At one point we actually in the team race, we were up in 2nd place. And then as we kind of got further into the tournament, our wrestlers kind of realized, sometimes, it's one of those do or die situations and you got to get after it. And not that they didn't try, they gave a huge effort in those situations. And it's just one of those things where when you come up short, you got to evaluate, okay, so what did I do in this situation? What could I have done differently? Okay, here I'm in this side of the bracket. I'm at this point, what do I need to do to get to the next level? Things like that. And so you're constantly evaluating those things and going through those things with wrestlers in those tournament situations. And so this was a good one to show them that and give them that experience. And then as far as with our podium finishers, Chase Platt had a really good tournament. Met up with a tough kid in the finals and it wasn't his match that day. That's a kid that I think going forward, looking at a little bit of video, that's a match that Chase can win. I think when he steps on the mat, he's got every opportunity to win those matches. He's just got to make sure that he believes in himself. And I think as the season's gone, he's done a much better job of doing that, and it's going to show come postseason. Dylan Sloan had a really good tournament. I'm not going to lie. Started off a little rocky in the first match, but he made some really good adjustments and then was able to turn that match around, came out with the victory. And then from there, the rest of the tournament was history. He kind of lit a fire and just kind of went a-blazing. So he had a really good tournament, really good finals match. And again, that's that momentum that he needs to continue going forward with the rest of the season.
And then, Coach, obviously a rough matchup for the Bucks and Gazelles at Pier yesterday evening, shut out by the Governors, the Bucks were, and then the Gazelles fell 6-3. Why don't you talk about that meet?
Yeah, those days are going to happen. You're going to have some bad days. And that day was a tough day. It really was. But you have to have some of those days to understand that, even though it may be tough, there's one direction to go, and that's up, and that's part of and that's just sports in general. It's a lot of the mentality. And I think in those situations when we're facing it against teams like Pier, it's not easy. It's tough. They're a really good team. But after those types of duels, it's about how do you look at it? Do I walk away with my tail between my legs? Or do I take the lump, understand it was a tough day, and then get in the back of the practice room? And I really think that that's what our wrestlers are going to do, boys and girls. You can see it. They want to improve. And I think that, we have that crew that's going to put in the effort to do so. And you see it in the practice room. So, yeah, it was a tough duel. And I give credit to Pier. They're a tough team. They've been a tough team for years. And we did have some injuries going into that duel. Plus we have some illness that was going through the room, so we didn't even have our full lineup. And so that makes a big difference as well. And that can play on mentality sometimes too. So it is what it is, and I think that we're going to move forward, and I think we're going to improve from this.
Well, Coach, sorry that your competition in Brookings is off as of now, but I did hear a great team building exercise recently is getting the team together and coming and clearing the snow off my driveway. So we should make that happen.
You know what? I think that would work. It's all about that team building, just like you said.
Exactly. Coach, as always, thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you next week, all right?
Sounds good. Thank you.
Coach Riley Smith, Yankton, Bucks and Gazelles Wrestling. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Have you heard the news? Board-certified pulmonologist Dr. Scott Helberg has joined Yankton Medical Clinic, bringing his expertise in lung conditions to help our communities. Plus, he sees patients as young as 12 years old. When you're ready to breathe easy, rest easy. Call 605-665-1082 to make your appointment with Dr. Helberg. At Yankton Medical Clinic PC, Dr. Helberg is just one more way in which they provide so much care so close to home.
There are a lot of benefits for your small business when you have a relationship with your locally owned and operated The UPS Store. I'm Doug Frederick, manager of the UPS Store of Yankton. Not only do we provide excellent customer service, but we also provide the necessary tools to help your small business thrive. We can help you with everything ing, printing, packing, copying, faxing, freighting, any ing your small business needs, even shredding, notarizing, mailboxing, every ing for your small business, and of course, shipping. The UPS Store of Yankton, across from Walmart.
Have aches and pains taken you out of your game? Then give First Chiropractic Centers a call. We've been helping people get back into their game for over 40 years. Whether your game is sports related, like ice skating, snowmobiling, or simply shoveling snow, household chores, exercising, or daily activities, if your pain is preventing you from enjoying or participating in your chosen activity, we can help. Call First Chiropractic Centers today or visit us at firstchiropracticcenter.com. Whole health with hands-on healing.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service or when a problem arises. Find more at UpperMidwestGarageDoor.com, your authorized Clopay dealer.
Bring the crew to Pizza Ranch in Yankton. This is Annie, and we have legendary pizza and chicken just waiting for you on our buffet. Let us know what you're craving, and we'll make it fresh and bring you the first slice. Or let us deliver right to your front door. Your locally owned Yankton Pizza Ranch on Broadway, 665-1222.
It's where life tastes better. Surround them up and head her down to the Pizza Ranch. Whoa, that's good.
And welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig. Let's talk Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics, being joined by Coach Justin Olson, head coach of the gymnastics squad. Coach, obviously, let's just go way back to Monday, way back in the time machine. Yankton hosting O'Gorman, the last home meet of the season for the Gazelles at the River City Gymnastics and Cheer Center. Gazelles fell 144.65 to 134.05, but a good overall showing from the Gazelles. Let's say you.
Yeah, so going in to our last home meet, it's just kind of exciting that we get one more chance to compete against, number one, just compete. Number two, compete against a team like O'Gorman, where, you're always, try to raise your level. It's a good benchmark to see kind of where your team is at. And then, of course, the pinnacle of the situation is that it's senior night, and, we ushered off our one lone senior, Mackenzie Steinbrecher, past her last home meet of her career. And you know what? It went well. We went 134, like you mentioned. And, that's kind of our goal, is to try to stay consistent and keep on trying to raise that bar. And, I thought that's what we did. We had some kids that did some really, really nice things. We had some things that didn't go our way, but, that's kind of the nature of the beast right now. We're just trying to be a little more consistent. And I'm seeing that right now. Both on the JV side did very well, raised their team score to their season best. And then, of course, our varsity team, they came out firing, and I'm very happy with what happened on that Monday.
Highest score for Yankton individually, 33.75 from 8th grader Berkeley Olson. Hey, you know her, that finished 4th overall. Why don't you talk about her competition?
Yeah, she is, I'm very proud of her. She's battling, competing in, trying to compete at a high level in two different sports, basketball and gymnastics. And, so she is doing very well in both. And coming after her, actually, she had a 8th grade basketball game the same day, and she came right into the gym. And so her focus had to been sharp, and she did a really good job of performing. Like I said, high of 33.75, knocking out a great beam, and just coming in and providing a little spark there for our team. That was huge for us.
And then, Coach, Thursday evening, a duel against Hendricks Public in Minnesota at the barn, as they say. Why don't you go ahead and tell us how that went for the Gazelles?
So that was kind of like our a preview, to the conference meet, because we only got to compete 6 on the varsity squad, and so that's kind of one of those things where at ESD we get to compete 6. So we're just trying to figure out who those 6 people are, and we take stats throughout the year and we pull some analytics, and so we got our lineup for that meet, and it's always a fun environment. Going to Hendricks, Minnesota, in the barn, and literally it's a metal shed that's doctored up into a pretty sweet gym, and the kids are always excited. And again, we seem to perform there quite well. S-Line Hendricks has a great team that's in the Red Hawks, and we performed very well. We had, I think, 3 girls in the 33s or above, and we scored a 136 with some change on there. I ended up winning that duel. And then our JV team went 113, so that was kind of fun for them to cap off their season with the highest score of their season. So very proud of those kids. As now we look into, the postseason here with the ESD meet, coming up this next week. And that's going to be something where we wanted some momentum going into there, and our girls definitely provided it. We had Ava Collar went 9-0 on beam. Berkeley also went 8 8 on beam as well. So very happy with our beam scores. We went to 34 on beam, which we haven't done all season. Then that followed up with a great floor. Like I mentioned, some vaulting happened, and we had some more 9s on vault, which was we were just waiting for them to perform and everything to come together there, which they did, and then finish up on bars. We did a 32.75, and wish it could have been higher, but that's one of those things of a point of emphasis that we'll take into next week as we try to qualify for our the state team night, which will be, or actually it's gonna be day. In fact, Bryce, on Friday, the following week after our conference.
And this is a two-pronged question to wrap us up, Coach, but you kind of alluded to the ESD meet that is at Pierre High School on the 4th, so a week from now. How does the practice for the Gazelles, is it really just kind of fine-tuning things? Is it just the last week until, you consider the playoffs, ESD meet, and then state tournament like you talked about?
Yeah,
or how does that kind of work for you guys?
Yeah, so kind of, we don't like to, we try to keep things, as much the same as possible. We don't want to try to change the routines, too much. Like I said, we kind of use this meet as a tune-up meet, and we won't add in a whole heck of a lot. But if they're consistent in practice, we have a couple girls that are working on a couple of new skills that we might throw into the routines to see how they hit, because we know that it's one of those things that it's if we add it to the routine, they'll add a little more bonus, and that should essentially impact their score in a positive way. And so if they're doing it consistently in practice, I'm not afraid to throw that up in the conference meet, but like you said, it's one of those things where we need to fine tune and maybe just stay a little tighter and clean some things up and be a little more showy. And I think that will help us when it comes to the ESD meet here, where we have some of the top teams in the state, which is good. I think that's going to be a very positive for us too, as well, when we're out there competing in Pierre, having like a Mitchell and Watertown and some of those teams that we're kind of chasing as well to push our girls, knowing that we need to place in the top 8 to go to the state team competition that following week on that Friday.
And then, Coach, how do the girls like to compete at Pierre? It hasn't been this season, but you have girls that have competed there before.
Yeah, it's not a bad setup. We've been there before, and they have a nice setup. You don't feel cramped, and so it should be a fun environment. Like I said, the sport of gymnastics is pretty unique, that everyone kind of gets along. Even if you're competing against teams that are fighting for the same spots that you are, but not only are we trying to qualify as a team, we have those individual performances as well that they need to hit certain marks to qualify for the individual day, which is the following day on that Saturday at the state meet. So they take 40 in each event. So that's going to be one of those things where not only do we have to figure out that at our conference meet, we need to do well, but also it's one of those things where we'll get to know what happens in the other region state qualifying meet with the Sioux Falls schools and the Rapid City schools as well. That it's all 40 combined, so that'll be fun and exciting as we go coming up here next Saturday.
Well, appreciate you taking the time, Coach. Good luck to you, and we'll talk to you again next week.
All right, thanks, Bryce. Appreciate it.
It's Coach Justin Olson, Yankton Gazelles Gymnastics. We'll take a break, come back, and continue here on the Coach's Corner.
Education. That is one of our core values here at Missouri River Associates. Just making a sale is not our number one priority here. Our office is here to educate you on your choices in the insurance world. We are here to guide you in making the right choice for you, your family, or your business. Our agents are honest and transparent with you on your coverages. Let one of our agents show you your options today. Missouri River Associates, 665-6885.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer, research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
Old Man Winter is here, and you don't want your car left out in the cold because of a broken garage door. Routine service of your doors and openers could prevent some future problems, but unpredictable problems could put your door out of commission. When unforeseen problems arise, the professionals at Upper Midwest Garage Door are prepared to get your door going again. Call today for routine service or when a problem arises. Find more at uppermidwestgaragedoor.com, your authorized Clopay dealer.
SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab in Yankton has a newer research-based mindset when it comes to treating musculoskeletal aches and pains. We take the time to figure out where the pain is coming from and educate our patients on what they can do to improve their functional range of motion. We administer a range of treatments and preventative approaches that are customized to each individual patient and their health goals. Visit us on our website at swatchiropracticandrehab.com. When you need to feel better, visit SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab out by the lake on West Highway 52.
All right, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. This is Bryce Ladwig live from 1019 Broadway Avenue, the KYNT Studios in this winter wonderland that we are living in. Show brought to you by SWAT Chiropractic and Rehab. And the coaches joined us today on the Pizza Ranch phone line. I'm with you. I want the winter not necessarily to end. I just want all these snow cancellations and postponements to end. I want to stop having to shovel my driveway. I've shoveled my driveway more in January than I have the last 3 years. It's not fun. I know many of you know that feeling, but I'm going to go home and do that right now. Thanks for joining us here on the Coach's Corner. Until next week.